Hi, my name is Jen, and in today's video I wanted to share some paradoxes that I found in parenting so far. I am a mother of two boys. I have two under two, and they are the loves of my life. I love them so much. But there are some things that are kind of interesting in the whole parenting process. So I wanted to create a fun video just to highlight some of those things, hopefully normalize them for a few other people, and then also share some things that I've learned from that. So let's get started. So one of the first paradoxes that I came across as a parent came very early on. Pretty much everybody knows that sleep is something of the past once you become a new parent. There's a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of very interrupted sleep. Sleep is something that is very important, and unfortunately you don't get a lot of it, especially in the first few months or even the first year. There's so many nights when all that I want is a good night's sleep, and I just think about how wonderful it would be to get a good consecutive 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 hours, and I just daydream about that, and I just long for the day when I can get some normal sleep. And sure enough, eventually one day it comes, and you think that it will be glorious, but you wake up and your first thought is panic. And I just remember being so freaked out, like, oh my goodness, is my baby still okay? Did something happen? So at some point, your child will start to learn to sleep through the night. So that is a positive. There is hope. You will be able to get some sleep eventually. But I just thought it was really kind of interesting and frustrating how I daydreamed about sleeping for so long, and then when I finally did get to sleep, I was super panicked, and it was not restful or relaxing or a good experience in the way that I hoped and thought that it would be. So side note with this one, you do want to make sure that you are practicing safe sleep habits and you have a good safe sleep environment for your child. So definitely make sure about that. I will have a link down below on some tips to help your child sleep safely and comfortably through the night. So definitely check there. But when your child does sleep through the night the first time, it is a little nerve-wracking because they haven't done that before. So just be prepared for that, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy sleep after that. So another thing similar to this, if your child isn't sleeping, likely they are also crying or screaming or frustrated. And then also just during the day, your child can be very loud. And I just know that there are some times when I'm just like, I just want some peace and quiet. And I finally do get that during nap time or when they do go to bed. And it's so funny because all I want is peace and quiet. And then after a few minutes of it, I miss them. And I want the noise, I want the chaos, I want it all back. So thankfully, after a few hours of nap time or in the morning, you will get that again. But that is another thing that is pretty funny when you really, really want peace and quiet. When you finally get it, it's hard to enjoy. I also just mentioned nap time and bedtime, and my husband and I have both experienced this where it's been a long day and we're just really looking forward to nap time or bedtime so we can get some things done or just sit and relax for a few minutes. And inevitably, every single time we finally get to nap time or we get through our bedtime routine and the kids are off and in bed, and after a few minutes, we miss our kids and we want to get them up and wake them up and bring them out with us. We of course don't do that. They need their sleep, but again, it's just one of those funny things where you really, really want some peace and quiet or a chance to just rest and relax after a long day. But when you do, you really just miss your kids and you want to be with them. So another kind of crazy situation. This next one is very similar to that. My husband and I haven't had as many date nights, but whenever we do have some date night or date time, we inevitably just miss our kids. And that's another thing, you really just look forward to having some adult time, some one-on-one time. You look forward to it, you're so excited for it, and then when it comes, all you can think about or talk about is your kids, or you're worried about their safety or what they're doing, or you're missing them and you want to just spend time with them. So that's something that also can be a little crazy. But I think that's fine. It's normal. The first few times that you do things after you have kids, it's going to be a little different the first few times. So I think all of this is very normal. And I think as you get older and more experienced, as your children do, you begin to be able to enjoy and relax a little bit more. So this is not a permanent thing. And another thing, I know that there are so many things that I'm so excited to do with my kids. I've actually created a video on that. I'll link it down below, of things that I'm really looking forward to doing with my children as they grow up and get older. I think that's really fun to daydream and imagine and just be excited about the future and things that you want to do with your kids. But you also want to make sure that you are enjoying the present as well. I know there have been so many times where, especially with clothes, I've gotten some cute new clothes for my children and I can't wait for them to fit into that size so I can get pictures and see them in those outfits. And then when they're in those sizes, it's great. I get lots of pictures, but then I look at all the sizes that they've already outgrown and I get all sad and I miss them being that size. So again, it's just something where you are really looking forward to the future or to some other thing, and then you miss something from the past. So from what I hear, that's very, very common and something that you just have to get used to as a parent. All right, and this is the final one that I've thought of. I haven't experienced this one as much. I've heard a lot about this though, but as a new parent of babies, they are totally and completely dependent on me and my husband for everything. While that is nice, it is a lot of work. And sometimes you just daydream about the times that they'll be able to feed themselves, or they won't be in diapers anymore, or they'll be able to pick up after themselves, or communicate their own thoughts and wants, or bathe themselves, or whatever else. And you just kind of daydream and long for their autonomy and independence, them being able to take care of themselves more. But I've heard that when they finally are in that stage, parents often miss their children depending on them a bit more. And again, it's just one of those funny things. You really, really just long for them to be able to do more themselves and take care of themselves, but you also really miss that connection, you miss that dependence, you miss that interaction. And so that's something I'm trying to be aware of and think and plan accordingly. So that transitions to my takeaways from all of these things. My takeaway from all of these paradoxes is that I think that it's really important to just really enjoy the time that you have with your kids while you have it. So that sounds very obvious, but it can be hard to do. There are lots of difficulties and struggles in each and every stage of childhood and development and parenthood. You're growing, they're growing, and there's a lot of things to balance, and certain periods in life can be very hard and can bring up different challenges. So sometimes it's easy and enjoyable to daydream and think about the future and imagine a time when it's going to be easier and better, and that's fun and that can be okay, but also try and make sure that you're keeping yourself grounded, you're really looking and enjoying and being present as much as possible, and you're enjoying the time and the phases that you have with your children when they're in those phases. If you have a little baby and they're staying up late and keeping you up late, really just try and enjoy holding them, comforting them, feeling their soft little breath on your neck, feeling them fall asleep on you, looking at them in their cute little clothes and all the little baby fat and just the smell of them. Really try and take in all of that and enjoy that for what it is, because it's not always going to be here. So that is kind of a positive thing from all of this. The struggles won't always continue. Things do get better, but while you are in these times, really do try to enjoy them. There are pros and cons at every stage, so just try and make sure that you're noticing the positive things as well as the negative. I also think it's really important to practice gratitude, really try to note and become aware of things to be grateful for. So as I mentioned before, with the newborn phase, with the child not sleeping at night, there are some things to be frustrated about, not getting sleep, spit ups, poopy diapers, different things like that. But there's a lot of things to be grateful for. So the little baby fat, the cute dimples, the beautiful little smile, the way that your baby just lights up whenever you walk into the room and they see you. Cuddles are just so wonderful. The cute little clothes and outfits. There's so many things to really be grateful for and appreciate in each stage. And so I think that one thing that I've learned is to really observe those things, partly by really being present, but also by really trying to look for what things do I really love, what am I really enjoying right now. And I really try to enjoy those while they're here. The final tip is to keep a camera or your phone handy. As you've gathered from this video, these stages and phases don't last forever, so if there is something really cute or really sweet or really funny that your child is doing, try and capture a photo or a video of it as quickly as possible. They may not do it tomorrow, so my husband and I have loved looking back at a lot of the photos and videos that we've taken. They just bring us so much joy and happiness, and especially when our kids are asleep at night and we're missing them, the videos and photos really help us to not go and wake them up. So I hope that this was a fun video for you. I hope that it just really helps to normalize some of these experiences, and then I hope that some of the tips at the end are also helpful. Children are wonderful. They are a lot of work, but they are so, so wonderful, and they enrich our lives so much. So I hope that you're able to enjoy them, and I hope that you have a great day. If you like this video or have any other paradoxes that you've noticed as a parent, please leave them in the comments down below. If you're new, I'd love to get to know you. Please introduce yourself to me and tell me how you found my channel. If you have any ideas, please leave them down there as well. I'd love to be making content you want to see. So I hope that you have a great day. Bye.